All right, what's up, YouTube? I just want to do a quick video about a little craft thing I did the other day. I was just doing some searching on YouTube for how to hide your valuables or, secret safes or stuff like that. And I found a lot of good suggestions. Like one thing I found was on Amazon, they sell this thing that they take like food containers, like a corn can, ravioli can, shaving cream can, and they hollow it out. And like what I mean by hollow it out, it's like remove all the contents from it, like the food inside or the cream inside, and then they cut the bottom of it off, and then they like have it to where you can screw it in or take it off, and you can hide your valuables inside of it, such as coins, money, gold, silver, jewelry, so on and so forth. Um, I was like, damn, this is a really cool idea. But then I was looking around to see how much they wanted on Amazon for these. And the cheapest one is maybe 12 bucks, but then the good ones are like 16 to 20, right? So I was like, I was considering buying it, but I was like, you know what, let me look around. Maybe I can make something similar at home. And I did, and I'm going to show you in a second. But you know what I found very ironic though? The shaving cream can that I bought was the exact same one that they had on Amazon, right? It's this, how do you pronounce this? Barbazel or something like this? I mean, I guess the name's not really important. It's just the function that it is. But nevertheless, this is the shaving cream can, okay? So again, ironically, the same exact one they use on Amazon, as ironic as that is. So what I did is I went to the dollar store and I got this 8 ounce shaving cream can. Now, believe it or not, this lid was not included with the this bottle. I know they look like they came together. Like if you saw this in the medicine cabinet or just on the counter in the bathroom, you wouldn't think twice about it, right? So what I did, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just like a little spray nozzle under this, and that was just visible on the shelf at the store. So I came up with the ingenious idea of, okay, I need a cap for this, right? Instead of going from the bottom of this and taking that off, what I can do is cut off the top, like where the spray nozzle is, and I can just put a cap on it and then hide valuables inside, right? Very good idea. Um, so it didn't come with a cap. That was the first problem. So what I did, I was like, okay, well, this is the dollar store after all, right? So why don't I look around and see if there's like any other similar bottle that might have a cap? So I found like some type of, I think it was like a, was it Hawaiian Breeze, a body spray or something like that. And I tried when I was there at the store, I took the lid off that and tried it onto this one, and it fit perfectly. Like as I said, this is not the lid that came with this can. It didn't come with a lid. But if you've seen this on the shelf, you wouldn't think anything special about it, right? Because they look basically identical, like nothing special about it, right? So I ended up buying both of them, and then I took the lid from the Hawaiian spray and I just put it on top of the can, right? And I tried it at the store to make sure they fit before I buy them, right? And I'm pretty pleased with the result of this setup. Now I will tell you though, um, when I went to cut this, the can was still pressured, right? Like I made sure I emptied all of the shaving cream out beforehand, right? But it was still a little bit of pressure that was in there. So if you do attempt this, be careful with that, right? So what, and it was funny as well because when I went to cut it, I took my trusty Ozark Trail um, switchblade knife, right? And I was trying to cut the top of the metal, and that wouldn't work on there. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like I thought the metal would be cheap enough and thin enough that it would be able to go through. I know on the sides it would, but I don't want to damage the side because the key is you want to keep this as believable as possible, right? You don't want to bang this up. You don't want to damage it. You don't want to make any mark on it. The outside really matters because as more realistic as it is, the more believable it'll be as a prop. And so what I did is I went out to the garage. I was looking around, like, what the hell out here could I use? I initially thought like maybe I can get like maybe um, like a hammer and just like hammer the knife in, to cut out the top of it. And then I found in an old toolbox, I found a rainbow style fixed blade knife, right? It was like, oh shit, this might work really well. So then I started to use it, and it cut through it like butter. It was like, damn, I'm impressed. Um, so I fixed the problem, right? I found the right knife to use compared to my switchblade knife, and this is the end result, right? So I'll take this off, just put a little bag in here because the money or valuables I put in here just in case, like any type of rust builds or moisture builds or anything like that. So I will say this finish is not ideal. Like, you're gonna see it's a little rough along the edges here as when I show you. It's not ideal, but I don't have a file right now to file it down. So that's going to be something I'm going to do in the future, but this really is not bad. So here's the end result. Right, that's the result there. As you can see, a little bit rough along the edges, but it's not like you're going to cut your hand if it gets stuck on here, right? It's not as sharp that it's going to, like, cut your hand, right? It's still sharp, but, if you slightly rub up against it, it's not going to cut your hand open. But that's something that needs to get filed in the future, but it's not the biggest concern right now, because here's the other idea behind having it like this, right? Like, say for instance, if you just put the cash randomly in there, you'll have to reach down and get it. But if you put it in this bag, then it'll be like folded like this, because the cap's gonna hide this part, right? So all you gotta do, just grab it out, and then you have your money. I'd say you could probably hide, like, say if you hide a couple of 50s and 20s in here, you could probably hide like $500 in here. Yeah, I'd say about $500. Again, it's a small container, but you could fit about $500 in there. Of course, it would increase depending upon the type of bill that you use, right? Typically, since I'm pretty poor, right? So in my eyes, the biggest bill that I want is like a 20, right? And when I say what I want, I mean, like, I wouldn't walk around with something bigger than a 20. Like 50s and hundreds, they're unnecessary, right? Hell, you can't go to the store and buy something cheap for that, because 90% of the stores out here, they want smaller bills. That typically in my area, that's how it is, right? Um, and then in general, you typically won't be able to find change for that. Like, I'll give an example of that. Like, I was at a yard sale. Well, hell, I can't say it was at a yard sale because I was running the yard sale. And a dude came up to me and wanted to buy something I was selling for like $30, like an old tent I never opened. And the guy gave me $100 bill and was like, "You got any change for this?" So I was like, "Hey man, sorry, just go across the street to the convenience store and they'll change it for you." So fortunately he did, but that's just an example about how having bigger bills isn't always a good idea, because not everybody has change for that. So it'd just be more beneficial to have maybe five, tens, and twenties, a couple ones as well. So yeah, this is the thing back in there, and this is the inside of it. There's a little bit. I wouldn't say there's rust in here, but when I washed it out, I tried to remove all of the leftover from the cream that was in here, which I did a pretty good job, but still a little still a little weird in there. But nothing that's gonna damage the goods or whatever. It's completely dried. It's just like just a little residue on the sides of it. But again, if you give it a good wash, maybe get a sponge down in there, should be able to fix the problem. But for my needs, the money's going to be inside a Ziploc bag anyway, so it don't matter, right? But look at that. The cap saved the day though, because this was just a spray nozzle up here, so it wouldn't have worked if I wasn't able to find a cap for it, right? So there you go, right? And then snaps on just like that, right? And then there you go. It's a nice little hidden compartment for your coins, jewelry, silver or gold, and your cash or whatnot, right? All you got to do is like put that on your desk, and there you go. And I even went a step further, which I do not have the prop out here next to me. But while I was looking at the dollar store, I also looked at the razors. And I found the same brand razors that they were selling there. I believe it was in like a pack of four or something like that. So I picked them up as well. And then my thought is, okay, what I'll do is I'll open the razors, maybe take one out like I'm using it, and just leave it open on the counter next to him or the table next to it. So when anybody sees it, they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's just, his razors for the cream right there. So it just gives even a more sense of believability if I just put an open pack of razors next to it, right? Nobody will ever suspect that there's cash in there, right? So again, the razors might not be necessary. Oh, shoot. What the hell was that? I just got jump scared by something. I don't know if y'all heard that. It was like, I don't know what the hell that was, but man, that gave me a damn jump. But anyway, I digress. Going back to what I was talking about, right? Um, yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the razors, right? But the razors, the razors give it even a more believable sense having it next to it. But again, it's not necessary. But again, for $1.25, it's definitely worth the money buying a pack, right? So I just wanted to just do a quick video about that little project I was recently working on, to share the idea because I think it's a pretty cool idea. And again, it wasn't just this one. I sold it with cans like canned corn, ravioli, even a Lysol bottle, or stuff like that. Right? I thought it was a really cool idea, so I went and made this one myself. It maybe took me, I want to say it took like a half an hour. Yeah, a half an hour to get everything fixed. You had to of course empty the thing out, which is pretty fun doing, right? Just wasting the cream. Um, and again, it's not like you want to waste the cream, but hell, if you have one of these laying around that you constantly use, just use the whole bottle, and then when you're finished, just wash it out and make it then. Make the little safe when you're finished with the cream. There's no rush on it. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little project I was working on and give somebody, an idea. But anyway, I'm going to call that the video.